Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Today I'm going to ask about Anderson Aldrich. This is the young man who, just a short while ago, brought an AR-15 to Club Q in Colorado Springs and murdered several people. And what I want to find out is, what was he thinking? What was he feeling that motivated him to do this heinous act? And then I'm going to follow up with another reading to find out, okay, now that he's done it, how does he feel now? So what caused Anderson Aldrich? Card jumped out. That'll be our signifier to shoot up the cub. Temperance. Patience. Lack thereof. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a 6-card reading on this. Oh, good Lord. Okay, let's bring this down here. Oh, yeah. Hard to see it. I don't have much desk space here. Okay. But the signifier of the reading is the Temperance card. And I'll just pull these cards up. So, Temperance is about integration. The slow integration of things, the slow mixing of things. And in this case, I think his mind was poisoned. Not so much, Temperance is usually considered a good card, but Temperance is kind of like, it's a purity. It's like a cure for poison. But I think he was poisoned. That, and you might balance it with, as the gay community has been more and more accepted in society, it's just triggering him. Now, in the past, there's disappointment or betrayal. These are things not going his way. Now, that could be personal setbacks with his relationship with his family, family, work, friends, that sort of thing. It could also be that it's somebody who's not feeling included. He doesn't know what his place is, and that can lead to anger because you're feeling isolated. This is really like a card of isolation in that regard. Now, you've got the Hermit card to show something like that, but that shows a pain in your heart or a lack of compassion, empathy, or love in your heart. The current situation at the time was he was feeling like he had no other choice. He felt like he was a victim. And he had lots of choices. Shooting up a nightclub should be the last choice that you're making on that one. And again, this is the Eight of Swords. This person is not actually tied to anything. This person could walk away. They could use the swords to cut their bonds. They could use their free hands to untie the blindfold. This is almost like a willing sacrifice, much like the hangman is. But this person's feeling victimized by it. But they had the ability to change, and they chose not to. They chose to be a victim in that one. The overarching energy of that thought he could get away with it. He was going to go in. He was going to steal some lives. I know he's got 5 swords here, and I believe he did kill 5 people. And the 2 swords standing are probably the 2 people that beat the living snot out of this guy after he was done, before he could reload. They got the gun away from him, and they beat him up. But he thought he was going to get away with it. This is not a grand plan here, but in his mind, he was deserving to do what he did, and he deserved to get away with it. But the overarching energy is the Hierophant. He probably thought he could get away with it because he was emboldened by institutions. This could be government. This could be churches. I'll be curious to find out during the trial what type of information this young man was soaking in. Was he going to far-right websites? Was he going to, anti-gay, anti-queer type of websites? Where was he getting his news from? Um, uh, I don't know if he was part of a militia, but I think what you're going to find out, the reason why he thought he could get away with it was he thought he had the backing of large organizations. Think of Kyle Rittenhouse. He goes over and he murders 3 people during protests over Mr. Floyd's death. And the GOP comes storming down, the NRA comes storming down to protect this guy. I think this fellow thought he was going to get that same treatment too. Interestingly, the outcome is the Lover's card. Chuckling is, yeah, you're going to get a lot of love in prison, that's for sure. I'm not seeing where he's learned a lesson from this. I'm really not seeing where this guy's learned a lesson from this. Overarching energy is, or the underneath energy is things moving quickly. So this was not a well planned out attack. This was a spur of the moment thing of passion. He had the gun, he had the anger, he was going to go do something. He was going to do something right away. There was no planning involved with it. He was just going to go shoot up that club. And that Lover's card, though, it's about relationships. It's about unhealthy. It can also be unhealthy relationships. Maybe he thought he was going to be breaking up relationships or scaring gay people back in the closet or something like that. I'm not sure what's going on with this person, but right in the head is not going to be one of the things that people are going to think of with this guy. Okay, well, so that was the energy at the time. Let me shuffle these cards up, and we'll try and figure out what he's thinking now that he's actually done this act. This is so unfair. There's nothing wrong with people just wanting to go out and have a good time. You shouldn't have to worry about some idiot with a gun coming in and just randomly shooting people at the nightclub that you're at. It's depressing news. I mean, when, 40 years ago or so, when I was a youth, as it were, we didn't tolerate the gay and lesbian community as well as we do today. There's been a lot of progress, and it's been hard-fought progress. Don't get me wrong, it's been really hard-fought progress. And you had HIV and AIDS throughout the 80s really impeding the progress. But at the same time, it also humanized gay people. Just watching the suffering that was out there and bringing the world together to try and help. Again, the gay community's made great progress, and they're not looking to oppress anybody. They just want to be treated like equals. Nothing more than that. Okay, so how is Mr. Anderson here feeling these days? He's murdered 5 people. He's facing 300 or something counts in court. How is he feeling? How is he feeling about his actions? Does he have any regrets? Is he proud of himself? I'm going to take this one. The Magician. I think he thinks he's going to pull something out of the hat here. Let's see. There's that Hierophant card again. There's the Temperance card again. Okay. He thinks he's going to pull something out. He thinks he's going to manifest something and be justified, but underneath it is the Tower. And that's not going to happen. This is illusions in his head. This, again, you're going to find that he's probably not real right in the head, and his world's going to come crashing down on him really quickly. I don't think he recognizes that yet. But again, so here's that Temperance card. I can pull this down so you can see it. Okay, let me turn the cards around so you can see them as well. So this is their signifier card. This is how he's feeling. He's feeling like he's going to be able to pull this off. Like, you know what? I did what I set out to do, and look at me. I'm a winner, baby. And he's thinking, nope, my timing was perfect. What I did was perfect. Everything was the way it was supposed to be. There's, he has no regrets. This was the signifier card in the last reading, and now he's progressed to the magician. He thinks that he's done what he needed to do. And I guess the reason why he thinks that, he still thinks he's going to be protected by large organizations. This could be like, this could be like the NRA, this could be the GOP, whatever anti-woke organization is going to protect him. He thinks he's going to be protected. And then it's the Nine of Cups is about wishes and dreams, kind of like, this guy has everything that he wants. And he's done what he wants. But this is not the great, given the energy, this is not a great card for him. I don't think he does not understand what he's up against. He doesn't understand that he's not a hero in this. This guy's delusional. He is truly delusional. And the chances of him getting off on this trial are none. There's just no way. Okay, so that's my reading on Anderson and that Club Q shooting. In summary, he felt like he was justified doing it, and he still feels like he's justified doing it. There doesn't appear to be any remorse or regrets with what he's done. So one man has thrown his life away and taken 5 people along with him, and several others have been injured because of one man's action and his inability to cope with the life, with basically letting people live the lives that they want to live. Have a good night, everyone.